r/offmychest. Sabrina Cakes says, childbirth is a torture. I can't understand why some women want to get pregnant. I've seen many videos and comments from women about childbirth. They describe it as the most painful experience of their entire lives. Nevertheless, many of women decide to have a second child. During childbirth, when the baby exits, the skin of the vagina literally tears. The entrance of a vagina is about the size of a peanut, but when a woman gives birth, it stretches to the size of a watermelon, so the baby tears the woman's skin up to the anus, and then it is stitched up. In many places around the world, women are not given anesthesia, so they are torn and stitched up while fully conscious. Imagine stretching your mouths so wide that the skin tears. Think how painful it must be. I read that sometimes, even if a woman is given anesthesia, it may not work. So, they are cut and stitched while still awake. Like in medieval times. The pain is so terrible that women vomit and faint, losing consciousness because they cannot endure it. Another issue is that, in the delivery room, a woman is stripped of her dignity. Society tells women to be polite, not to dress provocatively, and to avoid being naked, because women who show themselves naked are stigmatized. But when a woman is giving birth, she is naked, and everyone, strangers, male doctors, looks at her private parts. There is no privacy. And the woman can do nothing about it, because the pain is so overwhelming that she is incapacitated. Women scream in pain during labor. I read stories where the medical staff sometimes cover women's mouths to stop them from screaming. Women, during pushing and delivery, literally shit themselves. And they do this while surrounded and watched by a group of doctors. Imagine what a humiliation it is. After childbirth, a woman's life is also not easy. I've often read comments from men who, right when their partner comes back from the hospital, are angry that she is resting, while they demand she cooks for them and take care for them. They are jealous that a woman is giving more attention to a newborn than him. They want to have sex with their partner, pressuring her for sex, even though she has fresh stitches down there, and urinating is painful for her. But there are many men who demand sex from their partner because they can't wait for long. Think how selfish and disgusting such men are. Very often, men say that after childbirth, sex with their partner is never the same because they are disgusted by her body has changed, and her vagina is loose. Many men cheat on their wives after childbirth. Childbirth and giving birth is a violation of a woman's dignity. I don't understand women who consciously choose to go through this. I believe that women should stop giving birth. I think technology has advanced so much that we could invent an artificial womb so that babies could develop outside of the woman's body. I believe this will be possible in the future. However, people don't want to work on this because they want to humiliate and control women by forcing them to give birth in pain. If Elon Musk were a woman, he would be working on developing an artificial womb so women wouldn't have to endure the pain of childbirth, but since he's a man, his priority is building meaningless rockets that cost millions and then crash. We should talk more about what childbirth really looks like. The media have pushed propaganda onto women, telling them that having a child and giving birth is a beautiful experience. Childbirth is trauma, horrible pain, humiliation for women, and it devastates their health. Glade Runner says, my wife says childbirth was the most painful thing she ever experienced, and that it lasted for less than a day. Immediately after it was over, she was a mother to our child, which was the most joyful thing she ever experienced and which lasts for a lifetime. Crotone 457 says, that's a chemical reaction in the brain to prevent the mom from hating the child after it burst out of her like a xenomorph. La Dissoir says, I forgot everything the moment the baby was born. He didn't cry for a second, and it was the longest second of my life. Then he cried and all I saw were his perfect chipmunk cheeks. There was no room for hate there. chemical reactions and all that, but keep in mind that you've been pregnant for months at that point. You're already invested in. Illustrator Slow 1614 says, childbirth isn't easy, but not every woman finds it traumatic. And many women give birth naturally without tearing, if her body is allowed to go through the process gradually and adjust without rushing through it. If you are urged to push when your body isn't ready, you can severely hurt yourself. Tearing of the perineum right up to the anus isn't common though, that's a severe birth injury. The way birth has been medicalized, so the woman is on her back to labor, makes birth injury more likely. Lying on her back gives the best position for a doctor to examine her and see what's going on, but it's completely unnatural. Squatting opens the pelvis up and helps to prevent tearing, as does perineal massage in the later stages of pregnancy with neutral oils. My friend gave birth naturally to twins. She was greatly encouraged to go the C-section route, because then the medical establishment could have a measure of control over the situation, but she had an uncomplicated pregnancy, everyone was healthy, and she had given birth previously. She had no tearing at all. My eldest was overdue, and I was pushed for an induction. My body wasn't ready, and it was very traumatic. The experience ended in an emergency C-section. There is so much room for trauma in childbirth, especially if the wrong people are in the room. I was assaulted by a doctor while I was trying to give birth. It's a mixed bag. If a woman never wants to be pregnant and give birth, that is her right. Off my chest. Charlatiskanen says, to my little girl. Note, if you are a Republican, congrats on taking the country. You own it now, and when it fails, it is all on you. No Democrats to blame here. I know you are in this sub to gloat and feed off the misery of all of us, so enjoy. We know that's your thing. We know you enjoy the suffering of others. We know you will see this as weak. We know you can't comprehend it. Now, to my little girl. Today definitely marks a change in the place we live. It will be something that impacts the rest of your life, and I will do everything I can to shield you from what is coming. I hope you never see me distraught over this, and that I hide it well. I hope you don't know anything about this until you are much older. What I promise you is this: freedom. I will do everything I can to create a path for you that is free of this country. I will give you the language, skills, and confidence to leave. I'm pretty sure it is too late for me, and I'm stuck in the system. I won't be free of this, but you can be. When it is time, leave and never look back. Setting you free will be my life's work from here on out. Middle-aged Princess 78 says, so many Democrats didn't vote, so I don't know if no Democrats are to blame. Cobra Kazoo says, do we hate women so much? I'm so confused by the reduced turnout. Cobra Kazoo says, I'm so scared. I hope your little girl surges out of this BS in a few years and the country never looks back. I love a Ducks 101 says, I blame the millions of Democrats that couldn't be asked to vote. I'm a libertarian who voted Harris in Virginia, so I did my part. Drove my neighbor, and she did hers as well. Kasuawu says, I'm not an American, I'm from the UK, and I'm so sorry for you. How he could get back in is beyond me. Not only is it insane to me how many people voted for this person to get back in, it's incredibly insane to me how many women voted him in again. SMH. Calm Wolverine 8369 says, Dems are to blame on nearly every level. Off my chest. CNRBX says, I was part of a movie and my family doesn't want to see it. I worked on a film last year and this weekend it was finally released in theaters, and I was so excited for my family to go see it and see my name on the credits, and instead of being met by support I was met with excuses and snarky comments about the film probably being trash and them telling me that I didn't really do anything. I feel so betrayed and hurt right now. I don't know if I feel more hurt or angry or both. This is one of the greatest achievements of my life, and they treat it like it's nothing and make fun of me. This sucks so much. Is it too much to ask for someone to say congratulations? Of course I'll watch it. Seriously, they make me feel so worthless. Ford Warrior says, congratulations on your achievement. Do you mind if I ask if you were on screen or part of the production work? Go see your movie, be proud of yourself, and to hell with your family. Take a picture of your name in the credits. Introverted Giraffe says, I remember when I was a kid and my uncle, who was a Broadway set painter, worked on a film and was named in the credits. Art department was pretty far down in the credits and the theater was almost empty by the time his name showed, but the 5 of us cheered loud enough to be heard in the hallway when his name came on the screen. We didn't care about the movie, we just loved our uncle and wanted to see his name. We only saw him once or twice a year due to distance, but he was our uncle, so of course we went. The thought of making excuses to skip a movie that someone I know and love worked on makes no sense to me. I'm so sorry your family and friends suck, it's their loss. You deserve to be proud of your work, and this random internet stranger is proud of you too. Yarg182 says, congratulations. I'll watch a movie in your honor tonight and watch all the credits and just be proud of everyone. Amazing achievement. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.